ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। शांति शांति शांति। नमस्कार my dear friends. This is 30th video on Talks with Ramana Maharshi. This video will start with talk number 429. 16th December 1937. Talk number 429. A few ladies had come from Bangalore. One among them asked, "The world is composed of differences from our point of view. How shall we able to get over these differences and comprehend the one essence of all things?" Maharshi replied, "Differences are the result of the sense of doership, kartritva. The fruits will be destroyed if the root is destroyed. So relinquish the sense of doership, the differences will vanish and the essential reality will reveal itself. In order to give up the sense of doership, one must seek to find out who the doer is. Enquire within the sense of doership will vanish. Vichara enquiry is the method." 22nd December 1937. Talk number 430. A Marathi gentleman asked, "I have read much about self-realization. I do japa, puja, etc. Nothing seems to satisfy me. Can Sri Bhagwan kindly guide me?" Maharshi, what is that you seek to gain? Everyone seeks happiness. Happiness is one's lot in everyday sleep. Bring about that state of happiness even in the waking state. That's all. Devotee, I do not follow. How is it to be done? Maharshi, Atma Vichara is the way. Devotee, it seems too difficult to adopt, being so intangible. What shall I do if I feel unfit for this method of inquiry? Maharshi, guidance is there. It is for individuals to avail themselves of it. 25th December 1937. Talk number 431. A Telugu gentleman stood up and asked, "The mind is said to be pure when all its vasanas are wiped out. It is also the finality. When there is something to be gained, is it not duality?" Maharshi, let the mind be first made pure. If the same question arises thereafter, the answer may then be sought. 26th December 1937. Talk number 432. An Andhra visitor asked, "What is sleep?" Maharshi, why? You experience it every day. Devotee, I want to know exactly what it is, so that it may be distinguished from samadhi. Maharshi, how can you know sleep when you are awake? The answer is to go to sleep and find out what it is. Devotee, but I cannot know it in this way. Maharshi, this question must be raised in sleep. Devotee, but I cannot raise the question then. Maharshi, so that is sleep. Sri Bhagwan went out for a few minutes. On his return, the same man asked, self-realized jnanis are seen to take food and do actions like others. Do they similarly experience the states of dream and of sleep? Maharshi, why do you seek to know the state of others? Maybe jnanis? What do you gain by knowing about others? You must seek to know your own real nature. Who do you think that you are? Evidently, the body. Devotee, yes. Maharshi, similarly, you take the you take the jnani to be the visible body whereon the actions are superimposed by you. That makes you put these questions. The jnani himself does not ask if he has the dream or sleep state. He has no doubts himself. The doubts are in you. This must convince you of your wrong premises. The jnani is not the body, he is the self of all. The sleep, dream, samadhi, etc. are all states of the ajnanis. The self is free from all these. Here is the answer for the former question also. Devotee, I sought to know the state of Siddha Prajna, unshaken knowledge. Maharshi, the Shastras are not for the Jnani. He has no doubts to be cleared. The riddles are for Ajnanis only. The Shastras are for them alone. Devotee, sleep is the state of nescience, and so it is said of Samadhi also. Maharshi, Jnana is beyond knowledge, and nescience, there can be no question about that state. It is the self. Talk number 433. Mr. Thomas, Professor of Sanskrit, University of Oxford, had presided over the Oriental Conference in Trivandrum, and on his way to Calcutta he visited Sri Bhagwan. He is an elderly gentleman with a broad forehead and a quiet manner. He speaks softly and slowly. He evinces great interest in Oriental literature, especially Sanskrit. He had heard of the richness of Tamil. He desired to know which of the English translations of Srimad Bhagavad Gita was the best. The hall was crowded, and a few of them mentioned with each his own opinion. Thibaut's Mahadeva Shastris, Telangs, etc. Sri Bhagwan made mention of F.T. Brooks. Mr. Thomas desires one in metrical form because it is proper vehicle for rasa, the essence contained in it. Rasa is also peace, he said. Maharshi, yes, Brahma is only rasa. Devotee, rasa is also bliss. Maharshi, rasa, ananda, peace are all names for the same bliss. The professor was shown Mr. Grant Duff's speech in the philosophical conference held at Paris. Later, the book Dharma by Dr. G. H. Mees was placed in his hands, on seeing which he asked what Sri Bhagwan thought of caste. Maharshi, the caste relate to bodies and not to self. The self is bliss. To realize bliss, one realizes the self. No need to worry oneself about caste, etc. Devotee. The Ahankar is also called the self. Maharshi. Ahankar is limited, whereas the self is beyond it. Devotee. There is much literature in English relating to Eastern philosophy and religion. There are different exponents. The system of Ramanuj is well presented. Professor Radhakrishnan expounds the Advaitic system. He lays more stress on experience than on evidence. Sankara shows a highly developed mind. A discussion followed on direct perception. The professor spoke of mental perception also as different from sense perception. Maharshi, to infer one's existence, no other evidence is necessary. The indriyas, senses, and the mind arising from the ego cannot serve as evidence relating to the self. The self is their basis. They do not exist independently of the self. One's own existence is self-evident. Bliss is the self. All become dear only owing to the love of self. Devotee. Love postulates duality. How can the self be the object of love? Maharshi. Love is not different from the self. Love of an object is of an inferior order and cannot endure, whereas the self is love. In other words, God is love. Devotee. It is also the Christian idea. He also asked Sri Bhagwan which of the methods was the best for the attainment of the goal. Is not Patanjali's the best? Mercy. Yoga's Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga is to check the mind from changing, which is acceptable to all. That is also the goal of all. The method is chosen according to one's own fitness. The goal for all is the same, yet different names are given to the goal only to suit the process of preliminary to reaching the goal. Bhakti, yoga, jnana are all the same. Self-contemplation is called bhakti. Devotee. Does Sri Bhagwan advocates Advaita? Maharshi. Dvaita and Advaita are relative terms. They are based on the sense of duality. The self is as it is. There is neither Dvaita nor Advaita. I am that I am. Simple being is the self. Devotee. This is not Mayavada. Maharshi. The mind is Maya. Reality lies beyond the mind. So long as the mind functions, there is duality, Maya, etc. Once it is transcendent, once it is transcendent, the reality shines forth. Although it is said to shine forth, self-effulgence is the self. Devotee. It is Sat Chit Ananda. Maharshi. Sat Chit Ananda is said to indicate that the Supreme is not Asat, different from unreal, not Achit, different from insentient, and not an Ananda, different from unananda, different from unhappiness. Because we are in the phenomenal world, we speak of the self as Satchidananda. Devotee, aham, I applies to the individual and also to Brahma. It is rather unfortunate. Maharshi, it is Upadhi Bheda owing to different limiting adjuncts. The bodily limitations pertain to the aham, I of the jiva, whereas the universal limitations pertains to the aham, I of Brahma. Take off the upadhi limiting adjunct, the I aham is pure and single. Devotee, does Bhagwan give Diksha initiation? Maharshi, Mauna, silence is the best and the most potent Diksha. That was practiced by Sri Dakshinamurti. Touch, look, etc. are all of a lower order. Silence, Mauna Diksha, changes the hearts of all. There is no guru and no disciple. The Agyani confounds his body with the self and so he takes the other's body for the guru. But does the guru think his body to be the self? He has transcended the body. There are no differences for him. So the Agyani cannot appreciate the standpoint of Guru and of Shishya. Devotee, is there no difference between the one and the other? Mercy, there are differences from the standpoint of the phenomenal world, but not from that of reality. The professor was thankful. He hoped to appreciate Sri Bhagwan's writings better after having seen him and conversed with him. In the course of conversation, Sri Bhagwan said that Upasana and Dhyana are possible so long as there is the mind and they must cease with the cessation of the mind. They are mere preliminaries to final eradication of thoughts and the stillness of mind. Devotee, Seva Siddhanta postulates three fundamentals as being eternal. Is it opposed to Vedanta? Maharshi, the three entities are Jiva, God, and the bondage. Such trinities are common in all religions. They are true so long as the mind is operative. They are mere creations of the mind. One can postulate God only after the mind arises. God is not different from the self. The self is objectified as God, so also with Guru. The professor returned in the evening and asked something about good actions. He further wondered why Brahma is said to be Satchidanand but not God. Maharshi, Sat denotes being beyond Sat and Asat, Chit beyond Chit and Achit, Ananda beyond bliss and non-bliss. What is it then? Even if not Sat nor Asat, it must be admitted to be Sat only. Compare the term Jnana. It is the state beyond knowledge and ignorance. Yet, Jnana is not ignorance but knowledge. So also with Sat Chit Ananda. Devotee, it favors the one aspect. After a word about Atma Vichara, he took leave saying that he would not trouble Sri Maharshi any further, although he had several doubts yet to be cleared and that he wanted to make Nidhi Dhyasana of what he had heard so far. A judge from Mysore asked, Upasana and Dhyana were said to be due to mental activities. Cessation of activities was also said to be realization. Now, how to realize without Upasana or Dhyana? Maharshi. They are preliminaries. Such action will lead to the desired inaction. Devotee, the heart is said to be experienced on the right. Physiologically, it is on the left. Maharshi, spiritual experience is spoken of. Devotee, is it the psychic heart? Maharshi, yes. Devotee, how to know that it is on the right? Maharshi, by experience. Devotee, is there any indication to that effect? Maharshi, point out to yourself and see. 28th December 1937, talk number 434. Bring Christmas holidays. There is a great rush of visitors from far and near. A group of them sat down and two among them asked as follows. Devotee, do you know English? Prompted to ask questions, he continued. Devotee, have you realized yourself? Sri Bhagwan smiled and said, go on, continue. Devotee, have you experienced Nirvikalpa Samadhi? He was asked to finish his questions. Devotee, can you enter into Nirvikalpa Samadhi at will? Is it not necessary that sages should influence their surroundings? Another man asked, can Sri Bhagwan help us to realize the truth? Mercy, help is always there. Devotee, then there is no need to ask questions. I do not feel the ever present help. Maharshi, surrender and you will find it. Devotee, I am always at your feet. Will Bhagwan give us some Upadesa to follow? Otherwise, how can I get the help living 600 miles away? Maharshi, that Satguru is within. Devotee, Satguru is necessary to guide me to understand it. Maharshi, the Satguru is within. Devotee, I want a visible Guru. Maharshi, that visible Guru says that he is within. Devotee, can I throw myself at the mercy of the Sadguru? Maharshi, yes, instructions are necessary only so long as one has not surrendered oneself. Devotee, is no particular time necessary for meditation? Maharshi, meditation depends on strength of mind. It must be unceasing even when one is engaged in work. Particular time is meant for novices. Devotee, will Sadguru place his hand on my head to assure me of his help? I will have the consolation that his promise will be fulfilled. Mercy, a bond will be the next requisition and a suit will be filed if you imagine no help forthcoming. Laughter. Devotee, may I come near, sir, for blessing? Mercy, such doubts should not arise in you. They contradict your statement of surrender. Sadguru is always on your head. Devotee, surrender comes after effort. Mercy, yes, it becomes complete in due course. Duty, is a teacher necessary for instructions? Mercy, yes. If you want to learn anything new, but here you have to unlearn. Devotee, yet a teacher is necessary. Mercy, you have already got what you seek elsewhere, so no teacher is necessary. Devotee, is there any use of the man of realization for the seeker? Maharshi, yes, he helps you to get rid of your delusion that you are not realized. Devotee, so tell me how. Maharshi, the paths are meant only to dehypnotize the individual. Devotee, de- dehypnotize me. Tell me what method to follow. Mercy, where are you now? Where should you go? Devotee, I know I am, but I do not know what I am. Mercy, are there two eyes then? Devotee, it is begging the question. Mercy, who says this? Is it the one who is, or is it the other who does not know what he is? Devotee, I am, but do not know what or how. Maharshi, I is always there. Devotee, does the I undergo any transformation, say in death? Maharshi, who witnesses the transformation? Devotee, you seem to speak Jnana Yoga. This is Jnana Yoga. Maharshi, yes, it is. Devotee, but surrender is Bhakti Yoga. Maharshi, both are the same. After some time, the man continued, then I have to conclude that I am consciousness and that nothing occurs except by my presence. Mercy. It is one thing to conclude it by reasoning and another thing to be convinced. The other man continued, I shall wait 3 months and see if help is forthcoming. Now may I have the assurance, mercy, is this what is asked by one who has surrendered? 4 visitors retired. The same man continued to say, fulfill your promise, laughter. He also said, God has given me enough for bread and butter and I am happy. In addition, I want peace of mind, hence this request. 29th December 1937, talk number 435. Two ladies and two gentlemen from Ceylon. Devotee, have you realized God? If so, in what shape? Mercy, who remains there to see God? The question might well be if one has known himself. Devotee, I have known myself. Mercy, is the I different from the self that you say you have known the self? Devotee, I know the self as identical with the body. If the self be different from the body, let Bhagavan tell me how to see the self separate from the body. He has realized God. He can teach me. Maharshi, why should the self be separated from the body? Let the body remain as it is, devotee. The soul, when disembodied, can see through all bodies. Mercy, are there others then? Or is there even your own body? Consider your sleep. You do not know your body then, but still you are there. All the same, Did you then perceive the world through this or other bodies? Nevertheless, you cannot deny your existence then. There must be a subject to see the world, and the subject must also be limited. If unlimited, how can there be others beside the unlimited self? Devotee, does God have any limits? Maharshi, leave God alone. What limits were there for yourself in your sleep? Devotee, death must then be the highest state. Maharshi, yes, we are now living in death. Those who have limited the unlimited self have committed suicide by putting on such limitations. Devotee, concentrate on the self, you say. How to do it, Maharshi? If that is solved, everything else is solved. Devotee, know thyself, you say. How to know the self? Maharshi, know that you are the body. Devotee, Raja Yoga realizes through the body, senses, etc. and Sri Bhagwan advises realization by thinking. This is Jnana Yoga. Mercy, how can you think without the body? Devotee, God does not think. Mercy, why then did you start asking in what shape did you see God? Devotee, God must be felt through the senses. Maharshi, are you not feeling God? Devotee, is everybody feeling God always? Maharshi, yes. Devotee, then what is realization? Maharshi, realization is to get rid of the delusion that you have not realized. Devotee, I don't catch the point. They left having taken a snapshot. So I end this video here, and the next video number 31 will start with talk number 436. Namaskar, my dear friend. Thank you. Please like, comment, and share the video and subscribe the channel. Namaskar.